how a second crash with an 18-wheeler may have complicated the scene.
And want to double the impact of your donation? How in the next couple of days, any gift you make to your favorite area nonprofit could be matched and even doubled.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Yeah, the Big Give kicks off later on today, about 12 hours from right now. And I am just stunned at the sheer number of nonprofits, large and small, that are in our area.
Yeah, our very own Patty Santos is going to be following that, bringing us the latest with it. We're going to get to the latest on the roadways, but first, we got to figure out what's happening outside.
And you can basically just take what happened yesterday and apply it to today. So in that sense, you don't need me to tell you that it's going to be cool this morning and warm this afternoon. But I think where I'm valuable here is that I can explain to you that we got some rain chances next week. And that's where things get a little more exciting, because I think we could get some decent rain in the forecast. 72 right now, 68 in New Braunfels, 70 in Converse, 63 right now, Bernie, 73 at Stinson. Not a lot of wind out there. Not a ton of humidity. And forecast for today, 80 at 10 o'clock, 86 noontime, 93 is where we end up for a high today with partly cloudy skies. And there's that very small outside chance that a shower pops up along the coast. Again, here's where things get interesting next week, as we finally do get to add some rain chances back in. 20% Sunday. We've bumped up rain chances 30% Monday, Tuesday. I still think there's a lot of questions here, but if things play out the way it's looking right now, we could see some decent rain across the area, something to watch for sure. And we'll show you some of what we're seeing as far as what the computer models are showing coming up here in just a couple minutes. But let's get you out the door and get you on the roads this morning. What's the latest out there with traffic, Archie?
All right, thank you very much, my friend Justin. Take a look at your traffic authority, and good morning to all of our folks. Unfortunately, the construction is back on the far northeast side of town. Take a look at this camera. This is going to be our northbound traffic right here at O'Connor, and I'm going to switch over to the maps right now to show you some of the backup that we're dealing with right now. Construction related, that's 35 at Wiedner Road, and you see it right there. Top Rewind to Live Oak, Universal City, Pat Booker. Alex reported earlier it is down to one lane. So we'll check in with Alex in just a little bit, but you see that as pretty significant backup to start your morning on the northeast side of town. 410 right here at Nacogdoches, reports of a stalled vehicle, but it looks like traffic in both directions, east and west on 410 is moving along. And a quick check here, I-10 at Crossroads Boulevard also reports of a stalled vehicle, but I believe that's off on the access road, because it looks like our traffic is moving along there for all of our folks making their way through Balcones Heights and the Crossroads area. And construction actually has lifted right here, 1604 both directions, looking pretty good over by Bitters and Northwest Military Highway. Good news for our drivers on the far northwest and north sides of town. Let's check in with Alex right now, Drive Cam, see how things are looking on the ground. Alex, what is going on?
RJ, good morning and happy Wednesday. You want all the problems right now on the northeast side, like you mentioned, 35 north at Pat Booker, only one lane open on that left side. That's really slowing us down all the way down to Wiedner Road. Also, there's a big exit closed, 35 north right there. The exit to 1604 also closed. You're gonna have to exit that Pat Booker exit and then get on 1604 that way. Also, if you're trying to get on 35 north from Top Rewind, the entrance ramp, that's also closed. So very busy out here, RJ.
All right, thank you, Alex. Good information for all of our drivers trying to navigate around the Live Oak area. Guys, back to you.
A man is in critical condition this morning after he was hit by a car last night. This happened around 10:30 p.m. on Bicentennial Drive, not far from I-10. Police said that the man was attempting to cross the access road when he was hit by a car. The driver did stop to help, and I know another note was in there about an 18-wheeler accidentally backing into a parked police unit, but we have no further details on that.
Well, this morning, San Antonio police are investigating a crash involving a local high schooler. Police say an 11th grade student at John Jay High School was hit by a car right in front of the campus yesterday. It happened around 2 p.m. right on Marbach Road. The student was rushed to a hospital for treatment, but we don't know yet how serious those injuries are. Northside ISD said the driver involved is not connected to the school. As soon as we get an update on that student, we will be sure to pass that along to you.
A driver who was shot and killed in a northeast Bexar County neighborhood may have been tracked there by his killers. Now, Bexar County Sheriff's deputies found the victim after his car crashed on a street called Steep Valley, not far from FM 78 and Walsham Road. He had been shot in the chest. Investigators say that they found a gun outside of a home a few doors down from where the car crashed. They believe that someone at that home were the ones that fired the shots.
It's believed that the gunshot victim And some of the folks that live in that residence had some sort of feud, whether that stemmed from social media. We don't really have too much information at this time.
Investigators say that it looks like someone was following the victim's location through some type of social media or a phone app. Deputies ended up taking at least 5 people, some underage, into custody for questioning, but they did not make any arrest right away.
A Texas State student has been expelled after video circulating online showed him mocking the death of Charlie Kirk.
Texas State University says that it has identified the student but is not releasing any additional information on the student's conduct matters. But this comes after Governor Greg Abbott shared a video on X showing the student mocking Kirk's death, where in online video he could also be seen spitting during his rant, saying, quote, "Conduct not acceptable and not accepted at our schools. Expel this student immediately. Mocking assassinations must have consequences."
Now, the university president released this statement saying in part, quote, "Behavior that trivializes or promotes violence is reprehensible and violates the values of Texas State. It will not be tolerated," end quote.
6:05 right now. Now to the Charlie Kirk investigation in Utah. New messages from the accused killer, Tyler Robinson, have been revealed, and authorities say that they're now investigating more than 20 people with alleged ties to Robinson on the online messaging platform called Discord. Officials are trying to pinpoint if anyone knew ahead of time about the plan to attack Kirk. Robinson is now charged with 7 counts, including aggravated murder, after appearing before a judge yesterday. Prosecutors say that Robinson texted his roommate saying that he, quote, had enough of his hatred.
The roommate received a text message from Robinson which said, "Drop what you're doing, look under my keyboard." The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it."
And that was the voice of Jeffrey Gray, the Utah County District Attorney. Now, authorities say that Robinson's mother recognized him in the images released after the shooting before she and his father convinced him to surrender. House Speaker Mike Johnson is facing pushback this morning over his plan to boost security funding for members up to $30 million. Lawmakers from both parties say that this proposal doesn't go far enough, though. One lawmaker pointed out several problems, like not addressing threat levels and restricting when the money can be used. Right now, this plan is stuck inside a stopgap bill to keep the government funded. Both Democrats and Republicans want Johnson to bring the security funding up for a separate vote. And finally this morning, new data showing that traffic deaths are down more than 8% this year. The National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration released early estimates for the first half of 2025. They found that just over 17,000 people died in car crashes between January and this past June, but that's actually a drop from more than 18,600 deaths in the same period last year. What's surprising is that this decline actually happened even though more people are hitting the roads and driving more miles on U.S. highways.
Hi, 6:07 now. Your donations for the next 24 hours could help feed people through pantries, support the arts or children's programs in your communities.
So it's time for the Big Give South Texas, where nonprofits in 15 counties will benefit from the Big Give online donation push. Patty Santos here to tell us how the match donations work. Good morning, Patty.
Hey there, good morning, guys. So these are the different organizations right now that are part of the Big Give. There's over 400 of them, and the money you donate could be matched by corporations. Listen to this. Last year, the Big Give helped bring in $6 million. Now this year, Amazon is joining the list of sponsors. By the way, your donations could be as little as just $10. And we got a chance to visit families at Good Samaritan in the West Side. This is one of the 400 nonprofits that offers parental classes, free or low-cost daycare, even senior services. Ashley Andrade uses the low-cost child care services, but her family also gives back to Good Samaritan.
I always recommend this program. It's just a big help, for some parents that are struggling, to make ends meet. It's like a free center. Just find even a part-time job and it'll help you out. What else toys you like?
And by the way, Good Samaritan is hoping to raise $8,000 during the 24-hour online give drive. The Big Give organizers say in a time when federal funding has been cut, The money will make a huge difference for families. It is also important to note that these are unrestricted funds, which means the nonprofits can use the money to pay their water bills or whatever they are short on funding for. The Big Give starts in 12 hours at 6 p.m. and it's going to last 24 hours. You can read more about it right now on KSAT.com, guys.
All right, thank you so much, Patty. Hopefully people give in and we beat that goal every year.
6 million, yeah. I mean, and every year San Antonio seems to come through.
We're looking at 6:09 right now, 72 degrees outside.
On to Justin now for a look outside.
Yeah, no matter what cause you support, there is a charity for it. So go check it out. All right, outside right now, we have got very little going on here in San Antonio. It's quiet, but we think things will pick up and the pattern itself will change in a big way by early next week. I'll show you what that means for our forecast coming up.
Well, today is a great day to celebrate the U.S. Still to come, how new citizens are being welcomed on this Citizenship Day. And we're getting a closer look and actually an answer to our Just Ask Justin question about the Constitution's history.
Plus, what propositions A and B mean for the future of the Rodeo, the Frost Bank Center, and even the Spurs.
All right, welcome back, 6:13 now. So when you hear Let's Rodeo San Antonio, you know exactly what time of year it is. The San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo is campaigning for a roughly $240 million proposal to bring more Western and rodeo-type events to the east side.
So that's up to the Bexar County voters, though. This November, they'll consider propositions A and B. Prop A would improve the Frost Bank Center and Freeman Coliseum and overhaul the surrounding grounds. The goal is to attract bigger conventions, trade shows, and events. Rodeo officials say that this will help with filling the vacancy of the Spurs if they leave to a downtown arena, which is also on the ballot as Prop B.
So, however, some Eastside residents at yesterday's town hall still are not so sure about the idea.
This is all positive pro because it's by the people that want it. I was hoping more elected officials would be here to also either answer questions or ask questions.
Now, the majority of the crowd was in favor of the idea. Rodeo officials explained that if passed, this would be primarily paid for by taxing tourists and visitors.
All right. Let's go ahead and get over to our traffic world, see how RJ is doing.
Good morning,
yes, that's right, guys. Good morning. And professional bull riding, I know that's something they're also looking into. But, of course, that will all go to the voters here in early November. Let's give you an update on the roads right now. 35 slowed down. This is going to be northbound right there at O'Connor Road. We've been showing you this camera a little bit because that is sort of the tail end of some of the backup that we're seeing. So we'll go back to the northeast side here in just a little bit. But first of all, there are reports of a stalled vehicle along 410 at San Pedro Avenue. That's going to be right there between Blanco and McCullough and basically the North Star Mall area, if you will. But it looks like traffic for the most part moving along on the main lanes east westbound of 410. Keep an eye on that situation. Over here, 1604 Potranco, there are reports of a vehicle also stalled, disabled at 1604 South right there at Potranco Road. Now 90, already starting to see some backup for all of our drivers going eastbound 90 headed towards 1604. We know this entire area, Potranco down to 90, also further up the road, Culebra. Definitely starting to get busy as we get into our 6:15, 6:20 time of the morning. Back to the northeast side right now. 35 again, northbound. Traffic slowed down significantly due to that ongoing construction. There we have O'Connor, Judson Roads, Topper Wine, all the way up to Live Oak and Pat Booker. So let's go to Alex and see if we give you an update with Drive Cam and see how things are looking on the ground. Alex, what can you tell us?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. A lot of construction on those northbound lanes on the northeast side. So I-35 North only has one lane open. It looked like they were still working, so who knows if we're going to see that wrapped up anytime within this hour or even the 7 o'clock hour. But right now, if you are coming down 35 South was very smooth, especially if you're coming down from Cibolo or New Braunfels. That side of the highway has no issues, RJ. And I did see Ludacris is going to be at the Rodeo next year. I might go check out that concert, RJ.
Yeah, he was here a few years back and actually really kind of brought down the house. Yeah, definitely one of the acts taking place at the Rodeo this year. Justin, are you a Luda fan?
I've actually seen Luda in concert, and solid concert. So that's pretty cool. He's going to be here at the Rodeo. Love it. All right, sunrise this morning is at 7:20. Sunset is at 7:36. Total hours of daylight, 12 hours, 16 minutes. Notice we're getting closer to that. Exactly 12 hours of daylight and nighttime. And that happens, of course, at the fall equinox, which is Monday. So we're officially going to go into fall on Monday. In the meantime, still feels a lot like summer. 77, 9 a.m., 86 noontime, 88 at 1 o'clock. We top out at 93 this afternoon, partly cloudy. And, there's not much to say. We've been stuck in this pattern for a good almost 2 weeks now. But by the weekend, we do start to see some signals of change. Very small rain chance Saturday, a little better chance on Sunday. Not the kind of rain that will mess up your weekend plans. And do know that it will be hot. Temperatures in the mid-90s. That is above average this weekend. What changes is a change in the pattern next week. And so as you look at the futurecast here, we're going to kind of fast forward to Saturday because there's not much in between now and then. But the upper level pattern pushes the high off to the west. So it's far enough out of the way where we get a few little disturbances that could work through Texas. And by the way, we had a tropical system out in the Pacific. Mario, some of that energy is actually rounding that high. It may try to come through this weekend. Very little of it, but the rain chance is there, as we said, a small rain chance Saturday, Sunday. But it's Monday where things get a little more interesting. So what happens here is we get a low that tries to kind of pinch off from the jet stream. And if that happens, if we can get a cutoff low here around Texas, then we would have several days of rain chances. Now, I will tell you that is not a guarantee. Models never handle these kind of situations well. So we still have to wait and see. But it is encouraging that if this scenario plays out, we would have some better rain chances. And we need them. The aquifer, the Edwards aquifer, is still in really bad shape. It's at 630.7 as of this morning. The lowest we've been, and that was earlier this year, was 623.1. The average, what you would expect this time of year, is 659.6, just to give you some perspective. So we are very, very low. And I use the number 650 as kind of a healthy mark for the aquifer. We could get there. The last time the aquifer was above 650 feet, you got to go back to April of 2022. So it's just, we've kind of become conditioned, right, to the low aquifer levels and water restrictions. And until we just get a really good soaking rain for several events like that, we're going to see the aquifer really kind of where it is. The precipitation outlook as you get into late September, it is showing, again, some signs maybe that things could get a little bit better with some higher than average rain chances. Here's for hoping anyway. 93 Thursday, 93 Friday, 94 Saturday. Weekend's probably going to be our hottest temperatures that we're going to see, and then next week with clouds and rain, hopefully that will drop temperatures. In fact, I've got 89 there on Tuesday. That sounds really nice about right now. All right, our Just Ask Justin question, as you know, is about the Constitution, because today is the anniversary of the signing of the Constitution back in 1787. So which of these was not part of the original Constitution of the United States? Was it the preamble, 7 articles, Bill of Rights, or delegate signatures? It seems that everyone is in agreement that the preamble and delegate signatures were certainly part of the Constitution, but Bill of Rights is leading the way right now. And you can vote ksat.com/polls, key in the QR code. The answer comes in 30 minutes for you history buffs.
Keyword is the original Constitution.
That is right.
OG.
Okay.
All right,
OG.
Justin. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, 620, 72 degrees outside.
This morning, we are hearing from a teen who survived a shark attack for the first time. What she's saying about that terrifying moment.
This morning's GMA First Look, surviving a shark attack.
Did you realize the severity of what you were going through?
On June 7, 2024, Lulu Gribben's life changed forever. The Alabama teen was on a mom and daughter's beach trip in Florida with her twin sister Ellie and some friends when Lulu was attacked by what witnesses described as a bull shark in waist-deep waters. And this morning, she's telling her story to Michael Strahan.
I started swimming as fast as I could, and then like in the movies, they're like, oh, you can't be like frantic or else they're going to come after you. So I just stopped swimming. And then next thing I know is that I raised my hand out of the water and there just was no hand there.
Do you remember what that felt like?
I was in shock.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more of this harrowing shark attack survival story. With your GMA First Look, I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
All right, 6:25 right now. Today, the United States celebrates two important things, and we're talking about honoring the Constitution and welcoming new citizens.
So the Constitution was signed back in 1787. The famous words, "We the people," is the world's longest lasting written charter of government.
Also today, citizenship ceremonies are happening across the country. And right now, until October the 1st, the entire Constitution is on display at the U.S. Capitol.
Now, speaking of which, the 13th annual A Conversation with the Constitution is bringing students and the community together for a discussion about the Constitution.
This year's focus will be on the 4th and 5th Amendments, and everyone encouraged to share their thoughts and perspectives.
The event's happening this evening at 5:30 at the Rodeo Center across from the Tobin Center.
6:25 right now. We're looking at 72 degrees outside.
All right, look outside with Drive Cam and Alex Gomes with some room to move right now. We'll check in on him, and RJ will have another look at the roads for us here in the next half hour, so don't go away.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Check your clocks because it's coming up on 6:30 right now on your hump day. Feeling great outside, doing great today. Thanks so much for waking up with us.
What if I don't want to check my clock?
Hey, well, that's on you. Thank God you're at work already. We got a lot of people who need to get to work.
Indeed, indeed. And so we'll check the roads here in just a little bit, but outside we go.
Yes, if you are getting out and about this morning, there is no weather issues whatsoever other than you may be sniffling and sneezing. I had a lot of people around the office asking me what it is in the air, and it's molds and fall elm. It is that season, and ragweed too. Fall elm and ragweed tend to peak in September, and we've seen it. Moderate levels for fall elm, low levels for ragweed, and molds have been kind of a consistent issue. So that was yesterday's count. I should point that out. We get the new one here in about an hour, and we'll send that out to the web. You can check it out on the website. As soon as we get it, we'll update it there. And you'll also find that on social media too. All right, bus stop forecast. If you're headed to the bus stops about that time, temperatures this morning are in the low 70s. This afternoon will be in the low 90s. Partly cloudy. It is definitely repetitious here when it comes to the forecast. Meantime, though, in the Atlantic, we do start to see a lot more activity, and this is Tropical Depression number 7, newly formed this morning, and its track is going to take it off to the west. We'll share that with you coming up, and we've got a wave behind that too. So things getting active in the Atlantic, and yes, our pattern finally does change with some rain chances headed our way next week. All of that here in just a couple minutes. But let's get over to RJ now and check in on the roadways.
All right, thank you very much, Justin. And we're going to start our 6:30 half hour with an incident right here, 281 north at Encino Rio. So it looks like this is off to the side of the road here. So our traffic northbound moving along. The traffic you're seeing going away from us is going to be our southbound traffic. And I was looking at this earlier. The TxDOT Hero truck is already on the scene. So just another reminder, if you are stranded on the side of the road, the shoulder, go ahead and give TxDOT a call. They will send those Hero trucks out there. That is a free service for you. You could get your battery jump started, any sort of tire repairs or any of those types of things can get done by those Hero workers. Stay safe out there. Construction taking place here, 35 north right here, basically O'Connor Road, stretching all the way up Weidner, Judson Roads up to Topper Wine. We'll check with Alex in just a bit. He was kind of circling that area a little while or so ago. And now we have, our maps are indicating that we do have an incident right here. This is going to be 410 eastbound right there at San Pedro Avenue over by North Star Mall. So keep that one in mind. Looks like traffic for the most part is moving along. And then on the far west side of town, 1604 southbound over by Potranco, did have reports of a stalled vehicle there. It looks like for the most part traffic is moving along. Still seeing our regular delays that we see eastbound traffic right here at 90 and West Montgomery for all of our folks coming in from the Castroville area. Okay, let's go to Alex right now and see how things are looking in Drive Cam on this Wednesday morning. Alex, what can you tell us?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. Well, I made it to the west side right here. This is going to be 90 westbound near Military Drive. Speeds are very fast over here. Nothing like what I saw on the northeast side, where it's still very slow on that side of town, RJ.
Okay, thank you very much, Alex, making his way in Drive Cam for us. We'll check back with him in just a bit, guys.
6:32 right now. New this morning, opioid overdoses are on the rise, and one Texas group says that college students are especially at risk.
Our Devin Karp is live this morning at UTSA to show us how the organization Be Well Texas is working to get life-saving Narcan on campuses across the state. Devin.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, if you don't know, this is what Narcan actually looks like when it's in the box, and this is what Narcan looks like when you take medicine out and give the dose to someone who needs it. Researchers here at UT San Antonio say that this is a big issue for college students, one that's not going away anytime soon, but one that cannot be ignored. So this is all part of Naloxone, Texas. They're a group within the Be Well researchers within the institute at UTSA. They say progress has been made getting the drug Narcan into bars, music venues, and other places where adults might run into some of these dangerous opioid or fentanyl drugs. But now they want to make sure that college students have the same access both on campus and off campus, because research shows the problem isn't going away for them.
You know, a lot of college students will carry a tool in case they're attacked, like mace, or they'll have an alarm thing. To me, it's just like that. You have it just in case. You don't want those things to happen. You just don't know. It could be a stranger in the bathroom at the bar that you happen to be at, right? It could be anyone.
Now, Naloxone, Texas is also working with campuses in the UT system to get it over to students on campus, but they're trying to get with local outreach organizations across Texas to get this drug in as many public and private campuses as possible. This morning, we've got resources for you available on your screen. Just check out that QR code, though. After I spoke with some students over here at UT San Antonio campus, some said that they think that this should be in multiple campuses. One even told me they didn't know what Narcan was. So just for a further reminder, if anyone needs it, you can take the life-saving drug outside of this box. It should looks like this. Once you have someone who needs the medicine, you can take this end right here, put the tip up their nostril, and then you push to release the life-saving medicine. They say it's always good to have on hand because you never know when it could save someone's life. For now, I'll send it back to y'all. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
Alrighty, Devin, thank you. It has been 1 month since Edgewood ISD police arrested a woman during a public comment at a school board meeting. Well, last night was the first board meeting since that episode. The woman arrested, Maribel Gardea, held a rally across the street from the board meeting to organize parents before they went inside. She says she's still not allowed to go on the property, even though the district attorney's office is not pursuing any charges. The superintendent addressed parental concerns over bullying, board policy, and education support programs during the meeting. And he sat down exclusively with our Avery Everett for an interview and told us he's working on a solution.
I choose to look at that moment in time, examine it, learn from it, and move forward with the parents that are looking to work together.
The superintendent says that he will have more meetings with parents in the coming weeks. He's also planning to create a parent advisory committee in the district soon.
Adult Protective Services estimates that 1 out of every 10 older adults in Bexar County is abused, neglected, or exploited, and that's every year. It's a sobering statistic that the director of the city's Department of Human Services shared with the Public Safety Committee. And yesterday's meeting gave new council members of a current status report as to where San Antonio stands when it comes to elder abuse and domestic violence. Assistant Chief Jesse Salome says that fraud against the elderly is on the rise.
Several financial exploitation categories, especially fraudulent use and possession of identifying information and financial abuse of the elderly, have seen notable increases from 2023 to 2025 year to date, which to us indicate a growing trend in scams and identity-related crimes that are being committed against the older adults.
Metro Health analyst says that the number of domestic violence calls and reports have stayed relatively consistent.
All right, to take a look at this, you recognize that? Well, not this firefighter, but one that's coming up here. It's San Antonio Spurs guard Steph Castle. There he is. The San Antonio Fire Department, and USAA teamed up to spread awareness and share safety tips to prevent kitchen fires.
Now, some people may think that it may never happen to them, but victims can tell you often, hey, they say it can happen, and it can happen in an instant, and you can take some simple measures to stay safe.
Place it directly on it, smother the fire. Leave it on there for a time. It'll put the fire out. It's safe, it's easy. Keep in mind, that is what you want to do if it's a small grease fire contained in the pan, if it hasn't spread.
Now, officials also say placing a fire blanket can quickly put the fire out. Throwing water on it, not a good idea, they say. That can cause the flames to spread.
All right, good advice. Make sure you stay safe out there. And of course, Steph, we need you for the season. Stay safe. All right. A safety alert this morning for people that drive popular cars from Honda and Ford. There's several recalls we're going to tell you about, and we're going to show you a QR code in just a bit where you can scan to get more information. But let's go ahead and break this all down. Honda is recalling more than 17,000 vehicles due to power steering issues, as well as some of its motorcycles because the handlebars may corrode. Ford is recalling 1.4 million cars because the rearview cameras may stop working, and Mazda recalling some of its vehicles for not showing the correct fuel reading. Also, electric automaker Rivian also pulling around 24,000 cars because its hand-free system may not identify vehicles. You see that QR code on your screen. That'll take you to the full list on our website, KSAT.com. All right, well, money is tight for many of us, and new data this morning shows that it's affecting our credit scores across the country. FICO now says the average credit score for Americans dropped 2 points compared over the last year. Now, this drop is significant and being driven by more people using their credit cards to make ends meet and a spike in missed payments. And one thing that definitely did not drop, back to school spending and shopping. Those numbers helped boost overall retail sales last month. Now, this was a slight bump, but nonetheless important. They bumped up by 0.6% compared to July. The increase also comes as consumer prices in August were up 2.9% compared to last year.
It looks good. We've got not much going on out there with Live Cam. It's pretty quiet this morning. It is getting more active, though, in the Atlantic. A new tropical depression likely becoming a tropical storm. We've got the latest track on where it's headed coming up.
6:39 right now. CPS Energy making a big move to boost power supply. We got the new $1 billion deal that could mean cleaner energy for hundreds of thousands of area homes.
And the Fed is expected to cut interest rates today for the first time in months. We're going to break down what it means for borrowing, inflation, and your savings account.
6:43, welcome back to Good Morning San Antonio. Big news when it comes to borrowing money. Analysts expect the Fed to cut interest rates today for the first time since last December. Most predict at least a quarter-point drop. When the Fed lowers rates, it usually makes borrowing money cheaper. Now, this vote comes as FICO reports the biggest drop in credit scores since the Great Recession. While lower rates can help with debt, they can also push inflation higher. And many economists say that tariffs are already driving up prices. The Fed's decisions also affect what you earn on savings accounts and retirement funds. Okay, back here closer to home, CPS Energy is expanding. The company announced a $1.3 billion deal to buy 4 natural gas power plants in Southeast Texas. The plants are going to be in the Houston area and produce more than 1,600 megawatts of power. That's enough for hundreds of thousands of homes. CPS says that buying ready-to-go plants saves time and money compared to building new ones. The deal should be done by later on this year. Jeff?
Thank you, RJ. Happening today, Governor Greg Abbott is returning to the Hill Country to meet with families who were hit hard by the deadly flood, and he'll be connecting them with resources to help them recover. And Leander Abbott will hand out checks to those impacted by the devastating flooding. Again, this happened over the 4th of July. The money comes from the Straight to the Heart Texas Flood Relief Fund, a foundation that works with George Strait. They also helped organize the Straight to the Heart benefit concert back in late July.
Okay, very good. 6:44 right now, and we're going to talk traffic right now?
Yeah, let's talk some traffic. Get over to RJ.
Keep RJ busy.
Yes, and you know what, guys? Fortunately, things not too busy on the roads right now. We have cleared out that one incident over by 281 North right here at Encino Rio, and you see that traffic is moving along pretty well for our folks over here by Evans Road, also headed up to Stone Oak Parkway. So we appreciate you guys being with us on this Wednesday morning, and good news is that traffic is moving along. 281 can get pretty busy as we get closer to our 7 o'clock hour. Let's take you out to our maps right now and show you exactly what's going on here at San Pedro Avenue, because starting to see some traffic build up. That's going to be eastbound traffic 410, and I've been trying to spot this stalled vehicle looking at some of the other cameras. I can't see it at the moment, but it does look like there are some delays right there over by North Star Mall. So be careful if you're headed out to Blanco and also McCullough as well. 35 still a bit of a mess as traffic starting to build out here. Some delays even going past O'Connor Road, past Wiener misdemeanor, and now it looks like we're getting closer to parts of 35 and 410. So not a great situation for all of our folks headed northbound right now on 35. Expect some delays of about 20 minutes or so, maybe 25 minutes headed up 35 north. Okay, let's check in with Alex Gomez right now for a look at things in Drive Cam for us on this Wednesday morning. Alex, how we looking?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. Well, we're looking pretty fine over here on the northwest side. I am cruising on 410 eastbound right near Babcock Road, and right now it's only getting a little bit busy, but there's no crashes to report, RJ.
Okay, thank you very much. And we see a nice sunrise there. Justin, I'm not even going to try and answer just a question today. I'm going to let that go to the viewers.
You got it, RJ. I have faith.
My government teacher and history teacher, Mr. Blocksdorf, would be very disappointed in me. But
shout out.
Yes.
Shout out. Okay. Yeah, that answer's coming your way here right after weather. We'll get to it here in just a second. Atlantic satellite picture shows we got a new tropical depression, number 7. They just started issuing advisories on this morning. The Hurricane Center did, because it has finally reached that point where we think this has organized into an actual system. There is a way behind that, 20% chance of development. This one's still pretty ragged, and it will follow kind of in the footsteps, I think, of tropical depression number 7. Where does this go? Well, the Bermuda high is likely going to take this out to the north and west and sling it around the high, which would keep it away from the east coast of the United States and cause minimal impacts for those on the East Coast, maybe just some higher surf and things like that. So this should not be a big deal. It likely does become Tropical Storm Gabrielle, if not Hurricane Gabrielle, by the weekend. We will still watch it, but I don't think it will be much of a problem. Outside, 72 at the airport, 68 in New Braunfels, 70 in Converse, 61 Boerne. That continues to be the cool spot. Feels good up there, and it feels good in most spots. But as you know, with the sun coming up, which it'll be up here in about 20, 30 minutes or so, things will start to warm up. And this is where we end up. 93 at Port SA, 93 in Castroville, 94 down there in Pleasanton, Floresville, mid-90s for Nixon. Everybody's going to be in the 90s for the most part later this afternoon. And so another hot one. And there is that small chance of a shower. We've seen that last couple days. Very few and far between, but if we're going to see any of that, it'll be along the coastal plains this afternoon. I don't think we see anything here in San Antonio other than just some partly cloudy skies. Now, long term, as we get into the weekend, we finally get this heat high to kind of move far enough west to where we open up the door a little bit for some energy coming through, and there's going to be energy rounding the top of this ridge that will slide through Saturday and Sunday. Now, it's nothing that is going to create widespread rain. We're talking isolated stuff here, and it's entirely possible that we don't get any rain this weekend because the rain chances are pretty small. But I think as we get into Monday, that's where we start to get a low pressure system that may cut off from the jet stream. If that happens, this thing could sit here for a couple days and maybe create some better rain chances for us. I think the jury is still out on this one. The computer models will always struggle when it comes to what we call these cutoff lows that cut off from the jet stream. So let's get a couple more model runs under our belt before we say unequivocally that this is how things will play out. But with that in mind, we have raised rain chances Monday and Tuesday. And by the way, we officially go in the fall on Monday, so this would be good timing. 30% chance of rain both days, and that would lower temperatures a little bit too, because I think by the weekend, temperatures will go as high as 94, which is above average. We've spent many days now here above average, so stay tuned for that forecast. All right, Just Ask Justin, it's answer time. We ask you on this Constitution Day because it was on this day back in 1787 that the original Constitution was put into place. Which of these was not part of the original Constitution of the United States? Your choices were preamble, 7 articles, Bill of Rights, or delegate signatures. 7% for 3 of those. The other one, the audience feels pretty confident here that the answer is Bill of Rights.
My heart says it's the Bill of Rights.
Mine too.
Okay. Well, your history teacher did you well.
Yay.
It is indeed the Bill of Rights, which came a little bit later. The preamble, we are the people, of course, that was originally written. 7 articles established the structure of the government. There were 39 delegates who signed, all the big names,
John Hancock.
Yes.
Thomas Jefferson, all the people. But the Bill of Rights, which are the amendments, were not included until 1791.
Yeah, I knew that part. Look at that. See, and I will say, there's some perfect handwriting back in the day.
Oh, they did well.
The penmanship. Goodness. And it was all through like a feather, right?
Quill, right?
A quill.
Yeah.
Oof, Lord, I can learn something from them. Okay, thank you so much for that, Justin. 6:50 right now, 72 degrees outside.
Back when people used to actually write.
Right.
Exactly.
Had to practice.
Yeah, back in the day. September is National Service Dog Month, by the way. Today on GMSA Plus, we're highlighting how much this helps people every day and resources available that people may not even know about. Coming up.
Welcome back. Project Men stepping up to help folks who need medical mobility equipment. And you can be a part of it if you join KSAT Community on September 18th for the televised phone bank. Give the gift of mobility. Your donations will go straight to Project Men to buy that much needed medical mobility items like wheelchairs and walkers.
And if you have gently used medical equipment to share, the second mobility collection drive of 2025 is happening on Saturday the 20th. Just drop off your items at the Wonderland of the Americas or the Shriners Auditorium. Everything donated will be carefully refurbished and sanitized to meet state and health safety standards before it goes to someone who really needs it. It's a simple way to make a big difference in our community.
All right. Do we got a difference on the roadways, RJ? How we looking?
All right, let's take a look here at your traffic authority as we get close to 6:55, and hopefully you guys are off to a good start so far. 604 Pat Booker, northeast side. We're going to show you a map here in just a bit, but traffic is slow going through that one part of that interchange. 37 at Carolina Street, over by 10. There are reports of a stalled vehicle on I-10 East for all of our folks making their way through the southeast sides of a town. And let's give you one more shot here. 410 at San Pedro, traffic slow going there. Eastbound lanes of 410 over by North Star Mall, and back to the northeast side, major delays. Topper Wine all the way south to Randolph Boulevard. Okay, so we'll check in with Alex coming up at GMSA Plus at 7 o'clock. But for now, let's go to Justin Horn to see how things are looking outside on this Wednesday morning. Justin.
Thank you, sir. Beautiful sunrise is underway. We'll see temperatures make their way through the low 70s this morning, eventually upper 70s by 9 a.m. and then 86 noontime and a high of 93 degrees. Today, partly cloudy. Still looking at the same kind of forecast through roughly the weekend, although by Sunday we'll start to add in some rain chances. And next week, looking a little more promising for some showers and maybe a few thunderstorms around the area. We'll have much more on that extended forecast for you coming up in GMSA Plus. Guys.
Thank you. Are you ready for colder weather?
I am. It actually puts me in the spirit of Christmas, fall. I like, getting Christmas decorations ready. So, yeah, I'm in the spirit.
Oh, it'll be here before you know it. One way or the other. Okay, very good.
Stick around, guys. We got more coming your way. Headlines, your weather, and your sports.